Cyber Threat Brief for July 27, 2026. A FastSyn remote code execution bug, CVE 2026-16723, is under active exploitation against banks and government networks, and Alibaba still has not shipped a patch. Two ransomware groups posted 13 new victim claims in the last 48 hours, including Microsoft, Zenith Bank, and the UK Department for Education. Teleshim, a new backdoor abusing Telegram for command and control, is hitting Middle East government targets. Healthcare breach disclosures continue. MCBS confirms 1.2 million affected, DentaQuest more than 23 million. Here's the full breakdown of today's top security stories. Next section, critical alerts. FastSyn remote code execution under active exploitation, no patch available, CVE 2026-16723. Threat actors are exploiting an unauthenticated remote code execution vulnerability in Alibaba's FastSyn, one of the most widely used JSON libraries in the Java ecosystem. Exploitation began the day after Fearsoft publicly disclosed the flaw, and Imperva and Threatbook have both documented attacks in the wild. The bug works in FastSyn's default configuration and in its most common deployment model as a Spring Boot executable component. Imperva has detected exploitation attempts against customers across finance, healthcare, computing, and retail, with most targets in the US. The flaw affects only the older one, Xbranch. The current 2, Xbranch is not vulnerable. FastSyn 1.2.83, the final one, X release, shipped in May 2022, but the library remains embedded in bank and government software supply chains. Alibaba has not released a patch and is instead urging developers to enable the library's safe mode setting or migrate to 2X. Action, inventory all Java applications for FastSyn 1X dependencies, including transitive dependencies pulled in via Spring Boot. Enable safe mode immediately on any instance that cannot be upgraded today. Prioritize migration to FastSyn 2X. Treat any internet-facing Java service parsing untrusted JSON as high risk until confirmed patched or in safe mode. Source: Risky Business News. Next section, ransomware claims, last 48h. 13 claims tracked across two groups in the last 48 hours. Not confirmed breaches. Exfil Squad's posts for Microsoft, Zenith Bank, Frontier Airlines, Allstate, and TaylorMade and Sunday Red Golf all carry an August 5, 2026 contact deadline, consistent with the group's standard extortion pattern. Next section, IOCs and Detection. Teleshim backdoor abuses Telegram command and control in Middle East government. Attacks Zscaler Threat Labs identified a multi-stage campaign, attributed with moderate confidence to an East Asia-linked actor, deploying 3 previously unreported malware families against Middle East government entities. The chain begins with an ISO file containing a legitimate executable reg task, exe, which sideloads a rogue DLL, dynamic link library, as tasksched. DLL to install Teleshim, a 32-bit Windows backdoor that uses the Telegram API for command and control to blend in with normal traffic. Teleshim retrieves further payloads including GoPro Alert Service, exe, and pthread VC2. DLL, the latter acting as a reflective loader mixedkey that decrypts and executes an encrypted payload file. Second implant, BindCloak, is a 64-bit C++ backdoor contacting an external server at CERT. Hypersnit.com. All payloads use heavy obfuscation including string encryption, control flow flattening, and mixed Boolean arithmetic, plus virtualization detection checks, hypervisor detection via CPUID, RAM speed checks via WMI to evade sandbox analysis. Observed post-compromise activity ran between July 7 and July 9, 2026, with C2 commands executed only between 4 a.m. and 12 p.m. UTC. Indicators reg task, exe as tasksched, DLL GoPro Alert Service, exe pthread VC2, DLL a hash indicator, PCP key C2 domain cert, hypersnit.com, action block cert, hypersnit.com at the network perimeter. Alert on Telegram API traffic originating from server or workstation assets that have no legitimate messaging use case. Hunt for the named executables and DLLs, particularly DLL sideloading via legitimately signed binaries. Flag scheduled task creation tied to unrecognized executables. Source: The Hacker News. Next section, business and infrastructure threats. GitHub adds 3-day Dependabot cooldown. PyPI to follow with 14-day freeze. GitHub has added a cooldown mechanism to Dependabot that waits at least 3 days after a package version is published before opening a pull request to adopt it, aimed at reducing exposure to short-lived poison package versions that get pulled quickly after publication, but still spread through automated dependency bots in the meantime. The cooldown applies only to routine version updates. Security updates still trigger an immediate alert and pull request. Similar cooldown controls have already shipped across VS Code, Ruby, Bun, NPM, PNPM, and Yarn. Separately, the Python package index plans to block maintainers from adding new files to a package release more than 14 days after publication, intended to stop attackers who compromise publishing tokens from poisoning old, trusted releases. Action: Review Dependabot. IML cooldown settings and confirm the default is acceptable for your environment. Continue pinning dependencies with lock files, disabling install scripts in CI, and scoping build pipeline tokens. A cooldown alone does not stop backdoors planted in releases and left dormant. Source: The Hacker News. Scanners target SafeNet CDG document management default passwords sans ISC is tracking active scanning against SafeNet CDG3, a Chinese market document management and data leakage prevention product, targeting well-known default credentials shipped with the product, Secadmin/ESD at SBC 820. The password meets typical complexity checks, length, mixed case, special characters, numbers, but is a documented default that ships with the product and appears in public exploit tooling, including a 2023 Nuclei template. CDG has previously shown SQL injection and cross-site scripting vulnerabilities as well. Action: Change all default SafeNet CDG credentials immediately if you run this product. Confirm the admin panel is not internet exposed. Apply available patches for known SQL injection and XSS issues. Source: SANS Internet Storm Center. Next section, General Security News. MCBS data breach affects 1.2 million individuals. Atlanta-based medical billing company, MCBS, Medical Computer Business Services, disclosed that attackers had access to its systems between September 22 and September 26, 2025, potentially stealing names, addresses, social security numbers, dates of birth, health insurance information, and medical information. HHS's breach tracker lists 1,261,464 affected individuals across 7 named healthcare organizations. The Ransomware group claimed the attack, alleging theft of more than 3 terabytes of data including financials, HR records, partner and vendor data, and patient PII/PHI. PAIR has also claimed the Motility Software Solutions breach, 766,000 people, and the Tri-Century Eye Care breach, 200,000 people. Source: Security Week. DentaQuest data breach potentially impacts over 23 million people. Dental insurer DentaQuest disclosed that hackers stole personal and dental health information from its network in May 2026, potentially affecting more than 23 million people. Details on the specific data types and attack vector remain limited. Source: Security Week. Tribeca Film Festival data leak exposes celebrity records. Researcher Jeremiah Fowler found a publicly accessible, unencrypted database associated with the Tribeca Film Festival, along with 3 additional unsecured databases, including a development database with more than 200,000 records. The exposure reportedly includes data tied to A-list directors, actors, and celebrities. Source: Data breaches. Net. MedHealth reports phone and internet outage across all hospital locations. Med, a not-for-profit health system serving upstate South Carolina and northeast Georgia with 4 hospitals, is experiencing a phone and internet outage affecting all locations. Emergency rooms remain open. The cause has not been confirmed as a cyber attack as of this writing. Source: Data breaches. Net. Next section, Patch Priority. FastSyn Java, no patch for 1x. Enable safe mode or migrate to 2x today. Active exploitation, no CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, /EPSS, the Exploit Prediction Scoring System, ceiling on urgency given 0 available fix. SafeNet CDG, change default Secadmin credentials immediately, actively scanned. HTTP, Daemon Pearl CVE 2026-8450, OS command injection via send file, in versions before 6.17. EPSS 70th percentile, the highest of today's disclosed CVEs. Next section, Vulnerability Disclosures. HTTP, Daemon Command Injection, CVE 2026-8450, versions of the Perl HTTP, Daemon module before 6.17 allow OS command injection through send file. EPSS is 0. 14, 70th percentile, notably higher than the other CVEs disclosed today. Action, upgrade HTTP, Daemon to 6.17 or later on any Perl service using send file. Source: MSRC Security Update Guide. Low EPSS kernel and network CVS 3 additional low-priority CVEs were disclosed today with minimal exploitation likelihood. CVE 2024-14040, net, Nextstop weight handling, EPSS 4th percentile, net/sked. CLS API TC ACT consumed handling, EPSS 7th percentile, and RPC bind stack buffer overflow in RPSinfo short mode formatting, EPSS 14th percentile. None currently show signs of active exploitation, and 2 additional CVEs. See show notes for the full list. Source, MSRC Security Update Guide. Next section, Trends and Context. Today's stories reinforce that unpatched, deeply embedded libraries remain the highest value targets. FastSyn 1. X has no fix and is still running inside bank and government Java stacks 4 years after its last release. Supply chain defenses continue maturing at the ecosystem level, with GitHub, PyPI, and other registries adding time delay cooldowns to blunt fast-moving poison package attacks, though this does nothing against dormant backdoors or compromised build systems. Healthcare remains the sector absorbing the largest breach disclosures by individual count, with MCBS and DentaQuest together accounting for more than 24 million affected people this week alone. That concludes today's Cyber Threat Brief. From Carolina, Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.